Hello everyone, first off I'd like to apologize for having a late video this week. I know that there's only about one person that's going to care about that, but I did a lot this week and that's why it's late. I had a lot of footage and it's late like right now and I've been editing it all day, and so also had like kind of a sinus thing going on. But here we go. Week 18 in Germany. Started off last week on Thursday. Thad, Charlie, and I all went to Globus to go get our things for Thanksgiving. Came home and started making some stuff for the next day. We made some pie crust and some cornbread. The next day we started off, Thad and I, bright and early around 10 o'clock, starting to make our Thanksgiving dinner. Started out with a pie here, apple, that we had to make in a torta tin because we didn't have any pie pans, obviously. Turned out really well and it was a big hit by everybody. Next came the turkey. Of course, you can't have Thanksgiving without a turkey. We found this one, a 5.9 kilogram turkey named Timmy. Gotta make sure you inspect it very well, and then you gotta stuff it. Of course, you can't have Thanksgiving without a stuffed turkey. Ours was pretty simple, made it out of cornbread, a little bit of brown sugar, flour, some other good stuff, but then we had some other ideas for other stuffings for the future.
Who was telling me that, like, someone had like a turkey and then they took a duck and stuffed the duck in the turkey, and then they took a chicken and stuffed the chicken in the duck or something?
That's the turducken.
Turducken?
Yeah, that's pretty epic. It doesn't get more crazy than that. Then you can wrap it in bacon, but...
And wrap it, yeah, it's like, who the fuck decided
And then came time for a little bit of butter, because you know, whenever you add butter, it just makes things better. Why not? And then after the buttering session, it was time to finally put it in the oven.
Say bye-bye to Timmy.
And this is where Timmy was for about the next 3 hours until we had to take him out and flip him. And then he went back in the oven for about another hour and a half. It was a total of about 4.5 hours of cooking time. It was delicious. In the meantime, we were making our mashed potatoes, we were making our carrots, we were making more cornbread, and it was pretty amazing.
Thanksgiving in Germany with Michael, Thad, Chris. There's Chris.
Yeah, there's Chris. Charlie.
Charlie.
Therese.
Teresa. Marcus. And Alfred.
Yeah.
And
We're actually here. Timmy.
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 Timmy, that's all.
Timmy, can you say anything?
So here's Charlie dishing out the stuffing of our cooked turkey. Charlie, how are you feeling about our turkey?
How do I feel about our turkey now?
Yeah.
I feel great about the turkey now. Had you asked me that question like 15 minutes ago, I would have given you like the completely different answer.
So as we listen to some more Foo Fighters and watch Charlie carve up this bird, I'll explain why he might have been a little bit nervous. We didn't have a thermometer to check to see if the bird was done. He also thought that he couldn't eat the stuffing right out of the bird. We researched both, we found a thermometer, and we got it all taken care of. If you guys are actually wondering where I got all of our recipes for this delicious meal, I'm going to post all the links to everything that we made in the description so you guys can go and check that out. I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but for 3 dudes that have not really any cooking experience, have never cooked a Thanksgiving meal whatsoever, we did a pretty badass job. The turkey was great, everything else was delicious, the stuffing was amazing, and so I'll hook you guys up and give you guys those recipes. Dinner started a little bit later than we wanted to, but everyone's family was finally there, the food was ready, and it was amazing. And of course, what a big dinner means, big amounts of dishes, which is what you see here. Thanks again, Charlie and Thad, and both of your guys, those families, for making it such a successful Thanksgiving. I had a great time, the food was great, went off without a hitch. Thanks again. Dinner did last a little bit later than expected, especially because I had a Mittwoch next morning, bright and early at 5 a.m. in the direction of Coburg, Germany. So those guys who don't know, Mittwoch is pretty much glorified hitchhiking. You just grab a ride with somebody else, kind of share with gas. I got a Mittwoch into Frankfurt, and then I took a train from Frankfurt all the way to Coburg. where I was meeting Christina and her family for the weekend. Christina picked me up at the Bahnhof, and then we headed up to this place, Coburg Vesta, where we walked around for a little bit, and it had this majestic outlook. After the Vesta, Christina and I went back to her parents' house, where I met her family, had some lunch, and then we were back on the road to go to her Bulldog Owners Club Christmas party. Christina has a couple of bulldogs, and when she used to live in Germany, she was part of this club, so she got together, and they're having, you know, it's just like a bunch of bulldog owners with their dogs running around barking the whole time, and there's food. It's fun, but it was, I was definitely tired at the end of it because I was up earlier that day, and it lasted pretty late. Next day I got up around 8 o'clock, had a normal time. We had some breakfast, and then Christina's dad and I actually went to the Weihnachtsmarkt down in Coburg, walked around, had a couple of glasses of Glühwein at like 10:30 in the morning, walked around, then went back home for lunch. After lunch, then we collected the rest of the family and headed back to the Weihnachtsmarkt because, you know, it's Christmas time, why not? So you had a bratwurst at the Christmas market along with another thing, Glühwein, some of these chocolate-covered strawberries, which were pretty delicious. Continued to walk around Coburg. It's a really beautiful downtown kind of an area. It's like typish Bayern. Then we stopped in and had a coffee. Then I had to be back at the train station so I could make my Mitfahrgelegenheit all the way back to Saarland. Christina, thanks again for a great weekend. Your parents are really nice. I hope that you had a great time here in Germany, and hope that you have a good flight back home. Since I visited a new place this weekend, that means we need to put a new dot on our map, so let's go do that right now. So I went over to Coburg, which is in northern Bavaria, right there. Hopefully this is showing up, and let's put a nice little dot right on Coburg right there. This is what our Germany map looks like now. Monday I actually did something. That's right, I can hardly believe it too, but after classes, Kyle and Celine, our tutor, went out to the Weihnachtsmarkt in Saarbrücken. Here it is, all beautiful. And then every hour, Santa Claus comes flying in on this wire, and it takes forever. And then he starts shooting sparks, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not bad. Closer to the prize at the end of the road. Tuesday I had class, and then I went to Frisbee again. Not quite as cold as last week, that's for sure. And then on Wednesday was Chuck's birthday. Happy birthday again, dude. Feel it come to life when I see your ghost. And after dinner we had Feuerzangenbowle, which is pretty much this wine that you take this big old chunk of sugar covered in rum and light it on fire. Alcohol and firewood, it doesn't get better than that. In case you're wondering, yes, it does taste pretty good. And that brings us to yesterday, Thursday, and the reason why I was not able to make my video is because my host dad and host mom and I all traveled to Frankfurt for a engineering convention. It was called Euromold, and it was all about developing and manufacturing of different parts. It wasn't quite as big as the car show I went to. Actually, it was only in 3 halls out of the 11. And it was still, though, really, really interesting and really, really cool. About 99% of the stuff that was there had to do in some way, shape, or form with the automotive industry anyway, considering that's one of the biggest manufacturing fields just in general. They had stuff like 3D printers, highly precise measuring tools, highly precise robotic drills and lathes, engineering software, steel companies. It was just really, really cool to see all this different kind of machinery and had some of the new stuff and how it works. I mean, you can pretty much build like anything these days, especially with like 3D printers. I think that was really cool to see. After the convention, my host family and I met up with Mike Helped up in Chipotle for a nice burrito. Definitely a lot more expensive than any burrito that I've had in Big Rapids on a Wednesday afternoon. But Chipotle, pretty good stuff. It was good to see Mike again. And then we made our way home quite late from Frankfurt. And so that's going to be about it for this week, guys. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned for next week. I'm deciding to stay in Saarbrücken this weekend. There's some stuff going on around here. So, yeah, check it out. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace. At the end of the rope, all night long,